are the things we need. Of course, we have our tumbling tile blocks. You can use some furniture wax or some staining, just what you prefer. Some paint, some cutters, of course some scissors, some brushes, glue gun, and of course my wood glue, and some push pins if you like to use it. You don't have to do it, it's totally free. And later we will use some greenery and some figurines or some pics you of course can choose for yourself, which is fitting for your decor. But these are a little bit of the main things we need for our hanger. We're going to make a farmhouse hanger for, of course, the coming Christmas season. Of course, I'm going to make this a wall hanger, but you can also do it standing up, so you don't have to use it as a wall hanger. I'm going to try and go ahead, and we will see how this will turn out. And in the meantime, I'm also going to later try to tell you how you can make it with the smaller blocks, because you can do it for any season. Like I said, I'm doing for the Christmas, but you can do it for any season at all, and maybe for your everyday decor. If you just do some greeneries you use all year long, so you can use it for most day seasons. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make 7 pieces of 2. So very easy, just do on the side and close them together this way, squeeze it and press it down. We're going for this one, and we're going to squeeze it and press it down again, and we're going to make 7 sets of it again, and this will be number 3. And I'm going to do this one together with you, but of course I will not do the whole hanger this way, so don't worry. Don't get scared, I will do it in totally with you. So I have already 5, this will be number 6, and the last one, number 7. And I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. And again, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Make sure that you have a straight line like this. And I'm going to have always my old towel, wet towel, at my hand, and I'm going to wipe away the glue we don't need, like this. Very easy, and you don't get a mess on your table like this. And I'm going to, like I said, a couple of minutes drying in. So our 7 pieces are dried in a little bit, not too much, because be careful. We are going to start with 1 this way. We are going to do some glue on the underside this way, very easy, and place it in the middle of this one. Squeeze it, press it down, do some glue on this side and on the other side, and we're going to placing it down and again in the middle, and we're going to place this one again also over here and try to center it as best as you can in the middle. Of course you can use your ruler, but I'm always going to do it with my eyes, but you can do it any way you like. So I'm going to do this way, and again squeeze it, press it down, and be closing it up with this one, and again squeeze it, press it, and we're going to do the last one, but we're only going to do it on this side, not on both, but only on this one. And I did make it this long, but you can go, of course, if you want to have a bigger one, if you have a place on your wall you want to have it a real big one, you can just bend it out like this. And I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. You see already the bigger one is already dried up, but I also have on my table now the smaller blocks. For everyone who uses the smaller blocks, I would go for this size, and that means that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way. So I would go for a little bit bigger because it's already looking a little bit smaller, because the blocks are of course smaller. So I would go for this size. You can of course also, if you like it, this is too big, just take away this one and just go for 3 or 4 for this one, for this side. Later we're going to make a couple of them this way, but for the smaller blocks it's very easy to make. Just look how it is looking on your table before you glue it, and then you will see what you like or what you don't like. But this is very easy to make also with the smaller blocks. Like I said, this is already, the bigger is already finished, and I'm going to go now for a little bit faster. I'm going to make again still 2 of this one, because we already have a number 3. In the meantime, while these three are drying, I just took another placemat and I'm going to make the side layers of this one. So I'm going to get my glue and I'm going to do 5 blocks of 2. So very easy. Not this time, not 7, but we're going to do for 5. This is 1 and number 2 and number 3. And number 4, and this package of blocks is really bad with the sizes, so I hope you have better luck with your sizes in your blocks, because this package is really bad, but we are going to work with it, I always say. And if you have openings and you don't like it, just use some spackle and just of maybe some wood filler. I already would say in Dutch hout filler. Here in the Netherlands we call it hout filler, you call it wood filler. So I have 5 of them. I'm going to wipe away the glue we don't need, of course also from our mat. And over here, so we get always a nice clean slate to work with, so like this and this. So we are going to do 1 layer this way. We're going to go for, I have to place it this way, of course we're going to for this one. So I'm going to do this one, some glue, place it against it, and this way, squeeze it, press it down. It looks a little similar like the other one, but just in a different numbering. So, and this one, we're going to place for this one, and the last will be on top. And we are going to make 3 pieces of this one, but first we start with 2 and then we're going to look for the middle piece. But I'll show it to you in a moment. That's better than my English. So make 2 of this one. Very easy. Just going to make 2 of this. I'm going to lay this over here and I'm going to make a second one. It's some faster. Already the pieces I already finished. This is the 2 pieces, and of course I will make a third one, but that's you will see in a moment. I don't know if I can exactly use the same. I think I can, but I first want to show it and look for if I am correctly or not, because I'm always doing something. For the smaller blocks you have to go for, because you see already if you this one is what smaller, and you did also with the larger pieces, the 3, and you made probably 4 from the smaller blocks, then you need also 3 from this one, or maybe 4, but I think you have 3 more than enough. And you use not 2 over here, but you use 3, and you do not use 3 in between, and you have 4, because also you use 4 longer pieces like this. Later on in the video I will probably lay it down again for you so you can see it a little bit better. Here we have our 3 bigger layers like this. We're going to place them apart over here. We're going to get our smaller ones, and we made 2 of them. Of course we are going to lay this over here this way, and what we're going to do, we use this as an just a measurement, because we are going to glue exactly on the side. So we're going to do some glue under here and under here, so we make sure that everything sticks together. So I'm going to do very easy, some glue over here, and I'm going to do some glue over here, and I'm going to lay the larger part on top of here. And make sure that we have a straight line. We're just going to squeeze it, press it down, and we're going to go for this one. We just have to remove a little piece, and again squeeze it and press it down. This is already the row number 1. Then we go for the middle piece, so we could do some glue in the middle over here. We do some glue over here, and we're going to place this one in between. Very easy. And again, make sure that you have a straight line, and this way. And we're going to let this dry in also, and we do the ending. of course, some glue over here and some glue over here. And we're going to place this one at the ending, and we're going to make sure that he is also fitting inside. And this way, squeeze it, press it down, and we go for this side the same. We're going to try to work with it so everything fits nicely together. So, and then we're going to let this dry in. So our piece is dried up. Like you see, we have the 3 on the back side, and if you turn it over, you have on this side and on this side the shorter ones. I'm going to lay it down, and what I'm going to do, because I'm going to do it this way in the length, because that's a little bit better for you to see. Of course, I have to turn it over. I almost kicked you out of. So I hope you keep standing up. I'm going to get my 3 blocks, and I'm going to glue in between here, one here and one over here. Just make little tables for later when we can do some decoration on it, but you will see that later. So a little glue, and we're going to glue it over here. We do some glue a little on the line over here, and again place it in between, squeeze it, and we're going to do this over here the same, and again place it together, squeeze it, press it down, and we're going to do on the other side the same. Also place it over here, and of course I hope you can see it. Maybe I can push it down. So, and we're going to try this one. This one is a little bit shorter, so I hope he will get inside. Of course, over here, squeeze it, press it down, and we're going to do for this one the same. And then we're going to lay our piece beside, and we are going to this way squeeze it, and we're going to let it dry. So I'm going to squeeze it in between and let this dry. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make 4 pieces of, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to make 5 pieces of 2 again. Very easy. Just glue them together and squeeze it. And we're going to let this one dry also. Squeeze, press it down. And this. And it is a little wall hanger, which is a little more different than normally, but everything with me is always a little bit more different. But at the end, I hope you will tell me what you think of it, even when it is different. So I'm going to squeeze it, press it down, and I'm going to let these 5 pieces dry in for a couple of minutes. So I promised you also, when you use the smaller blocks, I would show you. You see, you need 4 of this one, and I told you earlier how to make them. This is so easy. Everyone can make them. You have 5 pieces of the sideways and 6 of the longer ones. At least 2, 4, yeah, 6. And of course for the 2 smaller layers, and you can do 3. You can do anything you like, but at least you need 2 for the tops over here and for the tops over here. Then you have the same, but you need 4 of this one, so you don't get 3 layers like I, but you have then 4, and this one will be this way, and you will this one like this one will come 1 over here, 1 over here, 1 over here, and 1 over here. So you have a raster of 4 pieces, but you can split them up with, again, if you like this sideways, you can do in between one, and you can again another one. You can make it as crazy as you like, but if you keep this on, then you already have the base of your frame. So 4 of this one, 2 of this one, and make more when you want to have more. Our 5 pieces of 2 are finished. What I'm going to do, I'm doing a little bit of glue over here, and I'm gluing this one in a straight line exactly in the middle of this one, so you get a nice line over here. So this one will be over here, and just squeeze a little and press it down. I'm going to do some glue on this one in the middle, and of course on this one also already. So again, place it in the middle, very easy, squeeze it and press it down. And we're going to do for this one the same, squeeze it and press it down. It's very easy and very simple. Just squeeze it, press it down this way. And now what we're going to do, on the very ending a little line of the glue, and a little line over here. I'll show it to you in a moment. You see, just small lines, and we are going to glue this one in the middle. And if everything is correctly, you can just place it in between and it will stick in place. And we're going to do this one the same, a little line on the ending and a little line over here again, and if it's correctly, he will fit inside and this way, and we're going to give it a little of pressure, and this way and over here also a little bit of pressure, and make sure that you have a straight line. And we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. Now he is dried up, and I'm going to paint him, and I'm going to use my sanding color. I showed you a little bit this way because or else he is too big, like this. And you see, this is what you get. It looks like a window, and you can do anything with it and decorate it any way you like. I'm going to show you, of course, a way of decoration also. But first, I'm going to use my chalk paint, and I'm going to go, like I said, for the sand color. But you can go for maybe white, black, brown. You can stain it. But if you're going to stain it, like I always say, get a sanding paper and just sand it off so you are sure that the wood glue didn't give some stain on your wood, because that will be most of the time the case. So if you're going to stain it or wax it, just do a sanding paper over it and make sure that you don't get spots on it. So, but I'm going to do my my sand color, so I'm going to give this a sand color. So I'm going to do the whole piece but a little bit faster. So you see, I have all the wooden houses, and of course you see already on the top there's a little hole. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to use some wood filler, and I'm just going to get a little bit on my finger and just go over it. And I have to be very, and it is already coming out, but it doesn't like it too much. So I'm going to work with it, and then I'm going to fill the little hole. So I did all the houses with a little bit of the wood filler. Of course, there are a lot of people who can do it much better than I did. But you saw already, I'm just doing something with my finger and just go over it. I don't really have the skills for really doing this. So I'm going to let this dry in, and then we're going to decorate our frame. You see already, I placed you a little bit down, and so you can see a little bit better of my frame. And I know if you see it, this is really a little bit of a unique one, because I just did the model just the way I thought it would like. But you can, like I said earlier, you can change it up any way you like. The first thing what I'm going to do is get my wood glue, because I want to be sure that my houses are really steady on top of here, and I don't have a big space over here. So I'm going to do some wood glue on the underside only, over here, and I'm going to place it in between, just a little overlay, the same height as you have this kind of a tables, because I'm going to use this like a kind of a tables for my little trees. So I'm going to press this down, and I'm going to do the other side the same way. So I hope he will stick in place. I'm going to get this one, and I'm going to do some wood glue over here. And I'm going to place this one also with a little overlay in between and this way, and just keep it in place for a couple of minutes, and then he can dry up by himself. So this is the first thing we do. So if you have also maybe not houses, or maybe you have another wood, maybe a Santa Claus, or maybe an I don't know, a star, or what, something else, a little gnome. Just place it first in between here, which wood figurine you have. You just place it over here, just let it dry in, and then we're going to go over this side and this side and this side with some greenery. But I let this dry in. So my little houses are dried in right now. Of course, they're not totally attached to my wood, but he is enough. So I hope it doesn't fall off. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get this kind of greenery picks, but you can use anything you like. Like I always say, this is from a bigger branch and I always cut them apart. This is also a piece of the branch. You see already, this is already a bigger one and I always cut them apart. It's very easy. You just go get your cutter and just cut it off, because then you get nice little bundles of 3. So very easy, just cut it off and then you keep this over and you can use that later. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my cutter and I'm going to cut off just the underside this way, and I'm going to do some glue. What I'm going to try to do is make a little bit of a larger kind of a tree. So I'm going to do this one over here, but a little bit on the back side of the house. So I'm going to do some glue over here this way, and I'm going to place it down, but I'm going to do this one behind the little house, and again squeeze it, press it down until it is dried up. And now I'm going to do the other one the other way around, and of course I have to turn the little branches because they are a little bit turned, and I'm going to do again some glue on the underside, and I'm going to lift this up and squeeze it under it, but again a little sideways to the other side, press it down, and again. And I see already what I did. You don't see too much. I am so sorry. I thought my camera was right. I'm going to get you a little bit more this way. So sorry. So I did one this side behind the little house, and I did one this side over. Now I'm going to get another one, and again I'm going to work my way with the little branch, make a nice shape inside of it. You always have to work with your branches. And again I'm going to do on the back side some glue, very easy, and I'm going to lift this one also up, and again squeeze it under it, but sideways again like this. I'm going to get it up, squeeze it down, and we're going to get another one, and again make sure that you have a nice bundle, and we're going to do some glue, and we're going to squeeze it under here, and just maybe this way, and make sure that you press it down, and so this way you get a nice layer of your little greenery. And of course I have to get it down, but I am just in the opening of the layer over here, so I hope it gets his way, and this way. And now I'm going to get another one, and you build it up the way you want to build it up. And I'm going to place it under here and this way, and again make sure that it's stuck in place. And I'm the last one. I think I'm going to do this one on top, and some glue. I'm going to lift it up and make sure that we have it under here, and then we go one extra over here. I have to get one over here. I'm going to cut it off and make sure that we have a nice bundle again. And I'm going to do some glue, and you see already it is so easy. I am also not someone who is professional like a lot of people are, but I'm just going to do it the way I think I'm going to want to have it. So most of the time it works. So you see already some greenery, and then you see already I have an open gap over here. So I get the loose pieces. I'm going to get some piece off, going to cut it off this way. I'm doing some glue on the back side, only on the underside, and I'm going to squeeze it in and make sure that it stays in place, because we want to have a full kind of a tree this way. And then you're going to look for where it's open, and you see here is also one open, and we're going to have another one. We do some glue again, and we're going to place it in over here, so we get a nice full piece of greenery over here. And now I have to look for, because I want to end this one in the straight line. So I'm going to get some greenery and I'm going to place it straight up, because we want to have a nice ending on here. So this will be straight up, and I get another loose piece and I'm going to cut it off this way, and I'm going to do this one sideways, and this way I'm going to squeeze it under and again place it down, and this way. And I think for me this side is already enough greenery, so I'm going to go for the other side, and the other side I'm going to do a little bit lower. This one is higher and this one will be a little lower, but I hope I can show it to you on camera a little better. I hope you can see it, and of course we are going to work this away later, don't worry. But for this is a kind of a tree, and I'm going to do this one the same but smaller. So for everyone who enjoys it, I also going to do this one together with you, but I'm going to do it very easy. Again, we're going to do some glue on the underside over here, and we're going to place this one because we want to have it in the other side, and this way, and we're going to glue it down. We get a new piece of greenery, and we're going to work our way and bend over a little and do some glue on the underside, and we're going to squeeze it under here and a little behind the little house, and again squeeze it down. We get another piece, and these are very easy pieces, and you go work your way very quickly on top. So this is really for everyone to do, because like I always say, I'm just also not a professional. I'm just going to do it, and again squeeze it, press it down, and I'm going to cut off a little piece because it's a little bit too long. And as far as you can, it's always great to remove the plastic, because that's not a great sight to see. And again, we're going to squeeze it under here and going to this way. And I think I'm going to work this one off because I want to have this one shorter. So I'm going to get some loose pieces. I'm going to cut it off. And this way. And I'm going to try to get the look straight up. It looks more like a tree. And this one straight up, because always most of the time the Christmas tree is going to in a point. So I'm always going to try to recap the same. And again, some glue, and this one will be on the side under here. So again, squeeze it under it and let it dry in again. And I think it also looks a little like a tree, but you see over here I have a little gap over here, and I don't like that. So I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to do some glue, and I'm going to squeeze it in, and this way. And of course, like I said with this one also, and I think he also on this side doesn't look the greatest. So I'm going to do some greenery also on this one over here, and I'm going to squeeze this one also in and let this dry. So, and now we already have the two trees on each side, you see. And now it looks a little strange. I hope you can see it later where I want to go. I'm going to lay my greenery aside, and I'm going to get my little bag of little bottle brush trees. And now I'm going to make a little forest. And it's also very easy. You can buy this one, I think, also at Dollar Tree. You can buy all this kind of little trees everywhere. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get first two of the bigger ones. You see already this one is already without his feet. And I need also another one without his feet, a bigger one. And I have to look for if this one is the, and you see the feet, you can very easily get them off. And then you see you have still a little piece of a wire, but we are going to cut it off, or else it doesn't glue very nicely. So I'm going to work my way down with the tree over here, and of course it gives a little bit of a mess, but now we can use this middle piece as a table. So we're going to do some glue, and we're going to place it over here, one in the middle, and again squeeze it. And now we're going to do again another one. Pull it off, do a piece of the wire of it, and again cut it off this way. And I'm going to make sure that I have one also down here. And I always love doing this kind of little displays. Again, squeeze it, press it down. And now we still need another one on this side. I don't know if he's a little too big. We will see. I think this one is also bigger. So I have to look for it. So I'm just going to do some glue under it, and we just will see where it will bring us. We're just going to squeeze it and press it down over here and just under here and this way, and keep it down and this way. Now we already have the 3 in a row. I think I can show it to you. You see, you already very easily have 3 on this side. Now we're going to build up, and we're going to do also a couple of them over here. So I have to look for, I have 2 of the same size, because we want to replicate, if I am correctly, on each side the same. So you see already we have 2 of the same trees. I hope I make sense, but sometimes I'm just rambling. But if you have questions, just leave them in a comment down below. I'm going to get my feet off. I'm going to get my wire off this way. And now I'm going to work my way, and I'm going to place one in the middle. So very easy. Do some glue and make sure that you have it very flattening over here, and make sure that everything sticks together. This is already one. Now you keep it in place until really your glue from your glue gun is dried up, because or else it will be popping out again, and that's not what you want. So I'm going to make sure that everything stays in place. This is one. And if it doesn't stick right, do some glue under here. So a little glue over here, and press it down against your greenery, and then it will stay in place and it doesn't go anywhere. This way. I'm going to go for this one. I'm going to cut it off a little piece, and this way. I'm doing some glue under here, very easy on the underside, and this. And now we're going to place this one also in the middle. Squeeze it, press it down. And he still doesn't glue it on my greenery, I see already. So you still need to work with it. So I'm going to do some glue under here. Make sure that you have enough, and that you keep it in place until it is dried up, and then you can work your butter brush tree and make sure that it stays in place. I'm not in the camera. So this way, so you do a little bit over this, and then he looks again like a tree. I'm going to need to do this one again, because he is still not glued together, and that's not what we want. And we're going to squeeze this in until it is dried up, and I hope you can see it. I will turn it over a little, and we're going to work with the tree to give it a little bit of a shape again. And that's the greatest about the butter brush tree, you still can redo it. And again, work with your tree like this. Now we already have the base of this too, and we need to remove our glue, now we get the smaller trees. And you see already this kind of little small trees. I think you can buy them anywhere. I'm going to place already one beside the little house. Again, we're just going to build it up and squeeze it inside and keep it in place again for a couple of seconds again. I don't know if I can really place you over here so you can see it much better. And I'm just going to build the way I think it is supposed to be, and at least what's my taste. But I have the green trees, but you also can use a couple of other colors. I have these trees in lots of colors, so you can find them. Also, I think Temu has them right now, but Temu is almost the same like AliExpress. And AliExpress sometimes go also look over there, because Temu is now, everyone is buying there. But if you're going to look on AliExpress, sometimes pieces are much cheaper. So go and look for both sides, because sometimes you are not always finding the prices you need. So I'm going to cut off this piece because I want to have one next to it on the other side. So over here, and I'm going to place it on the little front over here and then squeeze it down. And then I'm going to take also on this side one. But I have to be sure that he sticks in place. I have all the trees here. And now I'm going to look for this one. And again, I have to cut it off. I'm doing some glue again. And sometimes for people, maybe it's a little bit boring what I'm doing, but I'm doing it also for the people who really enjoy seeing how I make my displays, because you can easily make them too, and it gives a nice high-end look. I think it gives a nice high-end look. I don't know what you think. So already building this up. And what we also can do is get another house, and we can even place it behind the trees, and it gives even more like a nice look. I think I'm going to do this. I have to glue. I think I'm going to do this one with some, I think I'm going to use some wood glue and give it a little moment of the time. So I'm going to get a third house, the same, but I'm going to glue it in the middle, not here or here. I'm going to do a little lower, so I'm going to do it in the middle, a little wood glue over here. And you see this, here I'm going to glue it, and I'm going to place it a little lower and this way. So it's just going to pop out above, and I'm going to build up with some trees behind it, but this still needs to dry in. And I showed to you already, this is how it's looking right now. So my little house is dried in a little, not totally dried up, but I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to do some glue, a little drop under here, not too much, because we are just going to squeeze it behind those trees, and just this way. We're going to do the same with this one, and very easy, lift the other one up and squeeze them behind it. And I don't even use the glue, because you see already he stays in place. And now I'm going to do for the middle one, and I'm going to make it a little bit more flat. Just squeeze your bottle brush tree a little flat, and just very easy squeeze it in here, and make sure that you have it in place. And it looks a little like a kind of a forest, and I think it looks very nice. You see, this is how it's looking like right now. I'm going to get my 2 pieces of wood, because I'm going to make a little sign for on top of here, and we're going to make a cute bow. But you can go all the way if you want to have more coloring, more things. Just go ahead. I'm going to get my twine and some pieces of wood for making our own cute little sign. So I have here my twine, but of course you can also use a piece of ribbon, and this is the velvet ribbon, a smaller one, and it also gives a nice pop out of it. So I'm just going to try if I like the twine or maybe the ribbon. I'm going to double it up 5 times, 4 and number 5, very easy. Just going to cut it this way, and I'm going to make a very simple and easy bow the way you tie your shoes, and move it through the little opening. And it's always a little bit of a task to get the whole bundle through it, but of course we will manage it. And of course we're going to make the loop a little smaller, and like this, and work away with it. And you see already it's starting to get to look like a bow, but it's sometimes the one bow works better than the other one. And again we're going to cut it off, and we have our own cute little bow. And I have to separate them from each other, and this way I'm going to look if I like it or if I like a red bow better. So you see I have the two bows over here. I have a bigger one and a smaller one, and I'm going to glue them on top of here, just very easy in between your trees. And this one also on top of here, maybe I'm going to do it placed a little lower, I think over here. So I'm going to get my glue gun, I'm going to glue this, and then we're going to make our own cute little sign. So you see I just take 2 pieces of this kind of wood planks, a little thing, but of course you can also use your tumbling towel blocks, and maybe I think you need then 4, so 2 rows of 2, and then glue together, then you have your own. But I thought maybe I like this kind of planks, but a piece of cardboard is also fine to work with. So I'm going to squeeze them together this way, make sure that this is a straight line. Of course I have to work with it because he is removing, and I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to go to my computer and we're going to make our print. So our little sign is dried up. I'm going to go to my computer and I'm going to get my print, and I'm going to cut it out. And this is how my print is turned out. Of course you see it backwards, but it's just very simply Farmhouse Christmas. I'm going to cut this one out. I'm going to Mod Podge it on top of here. So it's very easy. I always make a couple of them extra because I want to be sure that I don't, if I mess it up, I always have one extra. So, and one bigger most of the time. So I'm going to cut this one very carefully. I'm going to cut it off. And of course the lines are very thin. So I'm doing my best just to get it beside the sides. And on this one, if you want to have this print also, you can go to our free printables, and there you can find your own little cute prints for which one you can use. It's always in our description box down below. So if you want to have free printables, go ahead and go check it out. There you find lots and lots of prints from every seasons. So I'm going to place this on top of here with some Mod Podge. So you see I use this Mod Podge, but you can use anything you want. I'm just going to do some Mod Podge over here. You can also use some school glue, and I'm going to go over it and make sure that we have each and every corner of our little sign, and this way. And I'm going to place it on top of here, and we're going to let this dry in for at least a couple of minutes until it is dried in. So you see, this is how our little cute sign turned out, and I did it with the black marker on the side. So very easy, take your marker, and I'm just did it with some, of course you can also paint it first, then you have the same result. And maybe you also can do then the back side if you want to use it as a stand. Of course I don't use it as a stand, so I'm going to leave this open, but I'm going to glue this on our frame. So I'm going to place my little farmhouse sign, of course, sideways over here. So I'm going to do a little bit of glue on my frame where I want to have it. Of course I'm going to look for, I am going to do it over here. I think I'm doing a little glue over here and a little over here. So, and then I'm going to place it in between, and then I'm going to just lay it down and look for the way I want to have it. And this way I'm going to let this dry also. And I was thinking I don't like still the underside, maybe I'm going to do a couple of little greenery picks over here and just glue them over here on this side, and maybe two on this side to work this away. And then I'm going to, as the finishing touch, a little bit of snow. But you see that with the quick impression. Yes, you thought already that you would see the quick impression, but I'm back again. I did a little bit of snow on the underside. You see already a little bit above some snow from a snow blanket. But of course, the trees, I did also some snow blanket in. I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. So what I was hoping, so I took a couple of my loose branches, 2 of this size, 2 of this size, 2 of this size for each tree, 3. And I'm going to just get my chalk paint and I'm just going to go over it and make them a little bit with a kind of a snow. Not too much, but very easy. Just go over it and make a little bit of a nice wider branch. You see, he's a little chalk paint over it, and then I'm going to let it dry and I'm going to squeeze them in our tree, so it gives also there a little bit of a snow, but it looks a little bit better than you just do some snow blankets. So if you want to do it, just get some chalk paint, lay it over here, and just very easy go with the flow of the lining of your tree, of course, and then just go over it and make sure that you have a nice white piece. And then we're going to cut off the plastic and we're just going to squeeze it in with some glue, and then I hope it looks